All right.
What's up?
What's up?
What's up?
Today we're going to talk about the tools that you should be using ideally
For brake work.
for brake work.
Some of the tools, not all of the tools.
Yeah.
Definitely get yourself a good bleeder. I'm lazy and I don't have one. Actually, that's not true.
We do have a
we
bleeder.
get one.
We got a bleeder
Yeah.
for the Brembo setup.
Yeah, that's somewhere around here. Get yourself a
It's-
bleeder. We did get
It's
one.
somewhere around here.
Honestly, if you give me like 10 minutes, I could find it.
Yeah, I thought you were going to say clean the garage.
No, I can find it. I can make a bigger mess.
No, you'd find it. I think I know where it is too. We have
it's like around-
like an $8 little bleeder.
We could really good actually.
It actually works really well.
Yeah, get a bleeder. We do have one. I lied. Anyways, so when you do brakes, you have to push the pistons for the brakes back in. It's always funny though when you have a friend doing brakes and then you push their pedal on the pad down and it just pops the piston out. And makes
Yeah,
it like
that's
miserable.
no good.
Yeah, if you want to be rude, do it, but also
Don't.
sometimes don't.
Yeah,
You know, whatever works.
sometimes. Live your life.
It depends on who your friends are, I guess.
Exactly.
I wouldn't do it to you, Lewis, if you're watching. Yeah, you though. So, there's a couple different styles for a couple different purposes. A lot of what you see today are single piston calipers, which means that there's one piston that pushes on the pad on this side, forcing the caliper together to push on the pad on the other side. Very common in most things. That's where this guy comes in. With this guy, you take your old brake pad, put it back on the piston, put this here, and just start twisting. This will start to spread on the other side of the caliper, and it will force the piston back in. You don't want to do that with your new brakes, just in case something funky happens and it messes up the pad material. Definitely do it with your old brakes. But yeah, you just twist it, pushes the piston back in. This is great for 95% of single piston calipers because the other small section of single piston calipers, you need this weird little Dungeons and Dragons dice.
Yeah,
That's kinda close.
exactly what it looks like. Die.
It does, and this has these nice little square holes in it, so you can add, let's grab this guy, you can put it on a 3/8 extension. So, put that on your extension, start rotating it, but the rear calipers on like Integras do it, disc brakes, Civics, that type of stuff, they'll end up having it's a screw type piston, so as you push the brake pedal, the screw continues to push out to push the brakes together. So to reset that, you have to turn it in. You could sit there with like a pry bar or something.
Yeah,
We've
we
done
used
it.
to use long screwdrivers.
Yeah, we've
and
done
just
it.
turn them over and over and over. It
And
takes
it's
forever.
miserable.
Yeah.
Like, it's miserable.
Yeah.
This makes all that better. I think the Integra are these guys here. But it literally sits into a position on the caliper, and you just twist the pad back in, or the piston back in. Super useful. It has a bunch of different types. You can see every
And
side.
what brand is this one?
This is OEM Tools. I think this is like $8 at O'Reilly's.
Yeah, that's great. And then this one is.
This one is another O'Reilly's one. It's just China. So it's
Oh, it's the China brand.
China brand. Yeah.
It's the China brake. Yeah.
These things are super cheap too. What you'll run into, because this is actually like my third one of these,
Oh.
you'll run into this
Okay.
nut eventually stripping
Oh, interesting.
and becoming very hard to turn. I've been really lucky with this one. It hasn't done that yet. Like most of them, you'll get like 3 uses and then they're done.
Mm-hmm.
This one has been pretty reliable, which is nice. Now, sometimes you have a brake with a piston on each side. Old S30Zs have that. They'll have 2 piston front calipers. Piston on each side comes together. Your typical performance brakes, like the Brembos we put on the 350Z. I helped Lewis do I think he had 6 piston front brakes on his Scat Pack.
Gnarly.
Huge, And that's where something like this comes in handy. So, as you can see, this has this really nice wide base on each side because you're going to use this to move the pistons back in. You have a directional setting here, and you can just start to rotate it, and it expands and pushes the pistons in, which is one of these things is super nice.
We used that on the Brembo install and it was amazing.
Yeah, it was super useful.
We used the smaller one.
Yeah, the smaller one is actually very similar, except it is meant for smaller type calipers. This is piercing. There we go. Yeah, it's meant for smaller type calipers. Same type of stuff. So again, has a little switcher down here. These two right here, these are both snap-on pieces. I got tired of being miserable. You know, a lot of people will use like a set of really large pliers. If you haven't done that, that's a fun one.
Yeah.
You know, they'll use really large pliers to like
Squeeze them.
clamp and squeeze.
Yeah.
Which works if like you don't really care.
Yeah.
Well, like think about clamping the Brembos like that.
Yeah. No.
Like there you have some little chips, but like no,
I'm
you
not
don't wanna-
messing up the finish of the
Right, you don't want to ruin that. So like stuff like that, really helpful for that. It's kind of silly how many different brake tools you actually need to do some kind of basic stuff. We have already talked about the flare nut wrenches. Like I said then, I will say it now. Seriously, get yourself a good set of flare nut wrenches.
Oh yeah.
They're
You pull those out.
yeah, they're right up here. Probably.
Those were amazing.
Yeah, those are definitely these guys right here. Get good ones. I have had seriously.
And we'll link the video right there.
I have literally right here. These are all the other ones I've had, and every single one just strips fittings. I have been miserable because they don't work, so now they sit in the box of shame.
Yep. Box of shame.
It's the box of shame.
Yeah, these are amazing.
Yeah.
So
Flare nut wrenches, get a good set. Really don't skimp on that. You know, that's super important. The cheap like brake caliper spreader, whatever, not a big deal. It costs like $7. It's fine.
yeah, don't strip your fittings because then your life is miserable.
Then you're cutting fittings and you need a lot of fitting repair tools, which I have because I've done it.
Yep.
But it's definitely not something you want to make like a consistent effort to do.
Yep.
So, yeah, these are just some of like the kind of basics that, you know, depending on what you're working on, especially if you get into like putting a big brake kit on your car, if you're spending like, you know, big brake kits are expensive.
They're not cheap.
They're not cheap. Just buy the things to make your life easier.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Because I think like this one's like $200. This one's like $180 or something like that. For the amount of work I do, it makes perfect sense. And if you're dropping that much money on big brakes, just buy the good stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. And then you'll have the tools to do your brake work forever.
Pretty much, yeah. Like those are never gonna really do
Lifetime warranty.
Yeah.
So that's
Interesting.
yeah, basically it for our brake tools that you need. Video, a good set of caliper piston spreaders,
Yeah.
bleeder, some
And just on a quick note for bleeders, they do have a lot of different like vacuum assist bleeders. That's definitely something I want to get because it'll make my life easier, but I do a lot of stuff. You know, like I said, the one we have, it's literally like OEM tools, I think it is. I think we got it on Amazon.
it was like $8.
It was like $8, and it's just this little green
It
bottle.
had like 1,000 reviews and 4.5 stars.
And honestly, it worked wonders.
And it's got a magnet on the bottle.
yeah, it had a little magnet attached
you can
to the
attach
bottle.
it to
You
the
just-
rotor.
Yeah, you just put it on the rotor.
Great.
Really helpful. We'll link that down
Yeah.
in the description.
Yeah.
Definitely get something like that. But, you know, vacuum bleeders are definitely a thing. If you want to spend the money on a vacuum bleeder, which I do, definitely do it because they're great.
Yeah. This guy will buy every tool though.
Yeah, but like, to be fair, that's because I want to make my life easy.
Yeah.
And like, I don't want to be miserable.
Yeah.
You know how it is, man. You're working on your car. You're like,
For sure.
some tiny little bolt hidden somewhere.
No,
you
the
have a tiny
Brembo
little
job
wrench.
the Brembo job was way faster than it could have been.
It was a lot easier, a lot quicker than
And it was cleaner because of those
yeah, those flare nut wrenches.
flare nut wrenches, like
Yeah.
all that, yeah. Anyways, that's gonna do it for our brake tools video.
Yep.
Let us know if you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, ideas about
If you
other
know
videos.
about some other brake tools that are really good that I don't have, by all means, let me know because like if there's something that can make my life easier, I'm down to buy it
Absolutely.
and talk about it.
Yeah. Let us know what you guys thought of the video in the comments down below. And if you liked the video, please make sure to like, subscribe, ring the notification bell, and we'll see you in the next one.
And we appreciate you guys.